Good morning. Welcome to this place of peace, justice, and hope. In this Unitarian Universalist congregation, we affirm that no matter who you are, who you love, or where you are in your journey, you are welcome here. For those of you joining us online, we're so glad you're with us. If you're visiting with us today, we invite you to sign our visitor's book. That's in the living room at the back of church. And if you'd like to join us for coffee hour downstairs, if you'd like, feel free to take a green mug like this one so that we can be sure to greet you. And members and friends, to help people connect, remember to wear your name tags like I did with your pronoun stickers. If you need a new name tag, again, at the visitor's table in the living room. I'm Dave Lloyd. My pronouns are he and him. I'm pleased to be with you as worship associate. We recognize that individuals of all ages and abilities have different needs during the service. In the living room at the back of the sanctuary, we provide a cart of fidgets and drawing supplies. If at any point you feel the need for movement, please feel free to get up and grab a fidget, engage in drawing, or dance in the living room. May you each know you're welcome in this house of peace, and may our worship and fellowship this morning touch your heart, mind, and spirit. Our music today will be provided by Jamie Pastman and Julie Beckman, and our services will be led by our intern minister, Swamini Saraswati. There's always a lot going on around the church. And you can read all about it in News and Notes, which arrives in your inbox every Friday. And there are printed copies available downstairs. If you'd like to receive News and Notes, stop by the welcome table, which, as you might know, is in the living room at the back of church. And be sure to join us next Sunday for Cozy Church. We invite you to show up wearing your pajamas, robes, blankets, or your coziest of clothes as we celebrate fellowship, song, stories, and worship while sipping hot cocoa and enjoying tasty treats in this special intergenerational service led by Pam and Swamini. Look forward to seeing you there. Me, I'll have my pajamas on.
Everybody hear me okay? Wonderful, wonderful. Today's service will conclude a little bit differently than usual. Each of you should have received a couple little strips of paper. Yes, can you hold it up for everyone to see? Good job, nice job. Be careful with them because they are dissolving paper. So if you get them a little wet, But as you sit today, what we ask is that you think about what you'd like to dissolve away from your life, from your past, maybe past hurts, sorrows, whatever it might be, past memory, and write that down on one of the pieces of paper. And think about what it is, what are your intentions for the new year? What would you like to see happen? It could be something beautiful for the world or something beautiful for yourself. It could be your New Year's resolution that, of course, we all keep. At the end and near the conclusion of our service today, people will come up to these bowls. The red or pinkish one is past, and the blue one is the future. And you'll be able to dissolve those pieces of paper away into those bowls of water where they will intermingle with each other's sorrows and hopes for the future. The sorrows will dissolve away, and the hopes for the future will be fed to our evergreen tree when the rain stops, so that it will continually nourish this world with your good intentions. Please raise your hand if anyone needs some paper or pens. Okay, if someone could please pass those out. Darren is going to pass those out to you, and we'll look forward to more. Blessed be.
This morning's chalice lighting is by Lois Van Leer. We light this chalice on the brink of a new year, letting go of what has been, open and hopeful for what may come, renewed, restored, ready to live life fully anew. May we move forward with intention. And now I ask you to rise in body or spirit to celebrate the day with Sing and Rejoice, which is hymn 395, and also broadcast before you.
For leading our songs today. I'm not very good at song leading, so I'm so happy that Julia is here with us. So today, for all kids, young and old, we have a special story called Alex and the Amazing Lemonade Stand. Can I share it with you? Yes. Yeah, great. Do I have permission from the kids? Yeah. Yay! So, this is a story of a brave little girl who had pretty blue eyes and a head full of curls. Her name was Alex. Alex lived with her brothers, her mom and her dad. She should have been happy, but instead she was sad. Something was wrong. She was not well. Things were not right, her parents could tell. The doctor looked her over and said, "She is sick. She needs strong medicine. It better be quick." Alex showed no fear, not even a pout, although the medicine made her hair fall out. "My curls will grow back," little Alex said. "Now somebody please get me out of this bed." Alex was determined to feel better again. But that is not where her determination would end. Alex was brave and strong and tough, but still, the medicine wasn't always enough. She said to herself when she felt sick one day, "There must be something to make my sickness go away. What could it be? What can I do to help myself and others too?" Alex was smart. She developed a plan. She would sell lemonade from a lemonade stand. Keeping the money was not in her mind. She didn't want the money. She would give it to the hospital for a cure they might find. When summer came, Alex told her mother that she would have her lemonade stand with the help of her brothers. They worked very hard, getting everything ready. But this work was fun, and the progress was steady. The day came round at last. There were people outside. They were lining up fast. Many people had heard about Alex's stand. Alex and her little lemonade plan. They waited in line, the young and the old, for a cup of her lemonade, extra sweet and icy cold. At the end of the day, Alex was happy and amazed to learn how much money her lemonade stand had raised. She also learned something else that was true. Other people cared about sick kids too. Don't we all care? Yes, of course we do. Many people learned about Alex's determination. They found her story to be an inspiration. They sent her cards and wrote her letters. They liked that she was helping little kids to get better. When the next year came along, Alex stuck with her plan. On another warm Saturday, she set up her stand. People arrived from near and far. They heard about Alex, the lemonade star. They waited in line, the young and the old, for a cup of her lemonade, extra sweet and icy cold. This year was even better. As her line grew longer, Alex's determination for a cure grew stronger. Again, she gave the hospital all of her money and a letter. The letter said, "Please use my money to help all kids get better. Love, Alex." More and more people heard about the good things that were done by the little girl named Alex and her lemonade fund. The following year, Alex had a new plan. "Now, I'll sell lemonade across this great land. Wouldn't it be great? We could have lemonade stands in every state. Think of the money we could raise for kids who are sick. A cure might be found, perhaps even quick." So other kids listened and started their own lemonade stands to help support Alex and her lemonade plans. People waited in line, the young and the old. They waited for lemonade extra sweet and icy cold. These kids sold lemonade and had lots of fun. Everyone was proud of the good things they had done. At the end of the day, the plan had succeeded. They had raised lots of money for the cure that was needed. Alex became quite famous and caused such a whirl. She came to be known as a little lemonade girl. Everyone wondered how Alex's story would end. What could be next for their little lemonade friend? She answered that question. It's simple, you see. For this whole thing is not about me. As long as kids are sick, I'll do what I can to help raise money through my lemonade stand. There's a lesson to be learned from the lemonade girl with the pretty blue eyes and the hair that once curled. You see, Alex lived by the words from which her foundation was laid. When life gives you lemons, just make lemonade. So, my friends, did you like this story? Yeah, it's a true story. Alex held her first lemonade stand when she was very young, and she was also very sick, but her inner determination to help other kids facing illnesses like her gave her so much strength. Many people were motivated to join this little girl's efforts, and get this, in just 4 years, with the people across the nation coming together to help her with their lemonade stands, they raised $1 million. It all went to medical research. Now, Alex is no longer with us, but her legacy continues to this day. 25 years after her lemonade stand first started, Alex's family and people across the world now have raised over $350 million for child cancer research. Hers is a true story of love and determination to make this world a better place, no matter the obstacles, no matter what one age might be, even if we're very young like she was. And so let us remember her story as we head to the new year with prayers that her tale may even influence some of our own resolutions. Here's her photo. This is Alex. So in honor of sweet Alex, brave Alex, and all the kids, all the people of all ages like her, who are doing so much good for this world, let us sing an intention for all of humanity as we love into a new year. The intention is also a prayer. May you be filled with loving kindness. Please rise and body your soul to join us. Hymn 1031.
Sweet. There we go.
Many of us came to this church and Unitarian Universalism generally, in part because we seek community in which to grow and learn and live our values. Because we find affirmation in service. Because we recognize that what we do matters, what we say makes an impact. How we move and work in the world resonates through the fragile, resilient web of life. Our financial contributions to this congregation help write the stories we want to tell to each other and to the world. We are so grateful for this and commit together to ensure the funds we gather collectively do a greater good for ourselves and our world. Now let there be an offering to sustain and grow the life and mission of this congregation. May we thereby write the story of love, gratitude, and hope. Please join in our offertory words. This church is made up of all of us. It is what we learn together, the fun we have together. It is what we share with one another, with the people around us, and with all the world. We now gratefully receive your contribution. Thank you in advance for your generosity. Our reading is What I'm Trying to Say by James E.A. Pearson. I'm not saying it's been easy, this life. Harder, in fact, than you ever expected. What I'm saying is that every one of your mornings has been met by the sun rising. Every time you made $1, it was met by an apple whose firm white flesh, a partnership of tree and rain, of sunlight and farmer and soil, is no different than a miracle. What I'm trying to say is the world has worked wonders to put ground beneath every one of your steps. You are never alone. Even now, you can lean back into the strong arms of this moment and let yourself be held by what's always held you. Every day, there's a reason to bathe your life in gratitude.
He was only 31, and he was giving up on his life. His heart was broken. He was close to living in abject poverty. And he was so very, very lonely as he dealt with the impacts of childhood trauma, unrequited love, and a life-changing health condition that doctors could not cure. He wrote a letter to his brothers. He said, "My misfortune is doubly painful to me because I am bound to be misunderstood. For me, there can be no relaxation with my fellow man, no refined conversations, no mutual exchange of ideas. I must live almost alone, like one who has been banished. I approach near to people, and a hot terror seizes upon me, and I fear being exposed to the danger that my condition might be noticed." He also said, "I am living a miserable life." His name was Ludwig van Beethoven. We'll get back to his story in just a moment. I understand a bit of how he felt, that sorrow, that despair. And that despair, I'm so sorry to say, was worse for me for quite some time during the holiday season. You see, I lost my beloved father, grandmother, and my closest aunt during the holiday season on different years. And all around me at the time was joy, yet I felt so very alone. I felt so very alone. Like Beethoven, I felt like one who had been banished to be in a crowd, but to feel no joy. There can be no relaxation with my fellow man, Beethoven said. I felt similarly, at least for some time. Yet I tell you, this isn't a tale of hardship. It is one of hope. So Beethoven had a brutal childhood. His father could be viewed as a terrifying version of the worst of stage fathers. His one and only dream was to turn his little boy into a prodigy just as famous as Mozart. And so for this, he forced his little son to practice day and night, day and night, and day and night. And if he made any mistakes as he was playing with his little boy fingers, he might be beaten all night long. Yet even after all the brutality he faced, Ludwig van Beethoven would remain passionate about music all of his life. It was who he was. It was what he did. It formed the very foundation of his self-view and personality. His very ego was intertwined with every note that he composed. His heart was embedded with every piece he played. Without music, he could not even fathom what life would be like. For gosh sakes, how could his life be anything else? He had been playing for royalty. He had been playing the piano for royalty since he was 5 years old, and he composed his first orchestration when he was only 12. Perhaps he just felt there was nothing else for him but music in this world, and I can understand why. But then his hearing started to fail. He began to lose his hearing. Slowly at first. He was only 20 when he began to notice that his hearing was going. And I can only imagine how frightened he must have felt as he journeyed from doctor to doctor, only to be told time and time again that nothing could be done. Music was his soul, his everything. How could he survive if he could not hear music? You can hear his heartbreak in his compositions as his hearing declined. He wrote a composition among many called The Tempest. Let me play a minute of The Tempest for you, which was composed around the same time that Beethoven wrote the letter that I read to you just a little while ago. The late pianist Wilhelm Kempf, while he wasn't the best of men, practically channels Beethoven's experience, Beethoven's pain as he plays. This is a very special clip where you can feel Beethoven just watching and listening. Feel it? Yeah, he channeled Beethoven. But I dare say that music would actually save Beethoven. More on that in a moment. For me, as my beloved family members were close to their last breaths, I felt a bit of a kindling of a spark that I believe Beethoven might have felt inside himself as I sat in one waiting room after another. I began to notice all the suffering around me. And somehow, just as my heart was closing down, I felt a pull, almost a magnetic pull, to the people around me. They were suffering just as I was. And while I couldn't save my family members, I could hold out my hand to hold another hand and another's, strangers' hands in a sea of suffering. We all held on to one another, shared our hearts, listened to one another. And I felt called to ministry evermore. As Beethoven must have been called even more deeply into his music. For in helping others, I felt a divine spark, a magnetic calling. My own symphony arose, one might say, when we were all holding each other's hands in sympathy. It helped lead me to where I am today, here with you all. And so, how did Beethoven find hope amidst the hardship he faced? In a time when there were no technologies to help him to directly hear the music he sought to compose, he invented his own solutions. And likely, this helped pull his mind towards being even more enmeshed in music, embraced by it, soothed by it. For if he was going to overcome his obstacles and continue to compose all the music that was streaming through his mind, he would need to fully connect with his compositions, body, mind, and soul. And so says the classical music station WDAV, to compose, he lowered his piano to the ground and played with a pencil in his mouth, both in order to hear the vibrations of the notes. He pressed his ears to the piano keys, just imagine that, to try to hear the music. Sometimes he would compose for days on end, sticking his head in ice buckets of water to stay awake, to sharpen his other functioning senses as his hearing declined more and more. He wrote pieces in lower scales because he could no longer hear the high scales. He used ear trumpets with one strapped to his head at times and carried a notebook so that he could communicate in writing with others. You can hear his triumphs in the comedic last movement of the Eighth Symphony, the overcoming of hardship in Fidelio, the sound of freedom in the fearless Ninth Symphony. Most important, you can hear the heroic fruits of Beethoven's never-ending persistence in working with and not against his disabilities. Became an ability in a way. Beethoven was so strong, and amazingly he persevered. Amazingly, joy entered his life, and with it, his music changed. It began to almost glow. It changed the world. To me, you can hear it so clearly in his miraculous Ninth Symphony, which starts out a little bit melancholy, but then something wonderful happens. The music slowly, surely turns to the sublime, as if the sun has just risen up, up, and up. The sun not just rises, it becomes so strong as to illuminate the very cosmos. Inspired he was to write this beautiful music from the sacred poem by Friedrich Schiller called Ode to Joy. In the poem, set by Beethoven to music, voices and orchestration rise to say, "O friends, no more of these sorrows. Let us sing more cheerful songs, more full of joy. Joy, bright spark of divinity. All men become brothers under the gentle sway of thy gentle wings. You millions, I embrace you. This kiss is for all the world." A divine spark had entered Beethoven's heart. His passions had pulled him from heartbreak through his unforgettable, passionate, and may I even say, miraculous music that today is immortalized throughout the world. After all his pain came such great beauty, a legacy that has lifted hearts and minds for over 250 years and continues to fill so many souls. One may say, perhaps that all around Beethoven was light, the light that embraces us all and calls us to rise beyond all that torments us, to reach up and to do something beautiful, to compose our own ode to joy from the fabric of our lives. Jamie, can you share Ode to Joy with us, please? Thank you, Jamie. So, what do we have to offer to this world? What is our music, our own private ministry, our own ode to joy? Sometimes it can be offering smiles, warmth, friendship, a caring ear, our gifts, our talents, our playing with little children. Maybe it's our time, our tenacity, a comforting meal or something else. But it is there, imprinted deep inside of us. It is there. This I believe. And I've seen so much of it in my short time in this beautiful church community, which gives us so many opportunities to shine. So I'll tell you one more brief story, if I may. It's okay? Okay, thank you. The story is of a woman named Carol, and her gift lay in doing just simple acts of generosity. And I read about her. I have to admit, I like Chicken Soup for the Soul books. I read about her in the Chicken Soup for the Soul Random Acts of Kindness. So this is her true story. Carol loved to pay for the coffee of the person behind her in the drive-thru. Now, Carol wouldn't just buy coffees for just anyone. It would need to be someone that she picked out as being extra deserving of a free cup of coffee. So it could be someone in the old beaten-up car. It could be someone looking really, really sad that day. It could be a stressed-out parent with their hair all akimbo. You know, someone in need of being picked up a little bit. So one morning, there were no people like that in the drive-thru. In fact, the only person there was in the car right behind her, and she looked elegantly wealthy. She was driving a beautiful convertible, wearing the most elegant of clothes with diamonds on her fingers, shining in the sun. And yet, Carol felt an urge to buy her a cup of coffee, even though this wasn't the kind of person that she usually liked to buy coffee for. She wasn't looking despondent. She was driving a nice car. She wasn't looking disheveled. So she shouted to the universe, "This woman does not deserve a free cup of coffee. She does not need a free cup of coffee. She can well afford it." And yet, this still, strong voice, maybe of God, of the universe, however you might call it, grew even more pronounced, more urgent, until she had to listen. And she bought a cup of coffee. She bought that cup of coffee for the lady, grudgingly. So a few minutes later, Carol is sitting in the parking lot, adding some sugar, whatever she does add to her coffee. And the elegantly dressed woman came up to her window. Carol was surprised. And then she looked through that window and saw the lady who had just received that coffee was crying. It turns out, she shared, that she had suffered an enormous loss this season, and she was in deep grief. All the while, someone had embezzled from her family business, and they were about to go bankrupt, she shared. She thought, as she was driving to get that coffee that day, that she was all alone in a crowded world, and that nobody cared. And then someone bought her a cup of coffee, and that meant everything. Carol's heart flooded. She cried too, realizing this purchase of coffee for a stranger was her ode to joy, found in a coffee shop parking lot. You see, every single act, simple as it could be, adds up. Every simple act can bless our spirits and bring well-needed light to our world and to our own lives, perhaps even more light. And so, before our concluding ritual, let us rise again in body and spirit, to open our hearts with hymn 86, Blessed Spirit of My Life. So my friends, this is a time for those pieces of paper that you've been writing on. This is a time to bring them together with all of our beautiful church community and with nature itself. And so I invite you, row by row, as you are ready, to please come up, and you can put the paper right in the water. Again, red, and there's a little sign, not a pretty sign, but it's a sign that says the past. The blue ones are for the future. Feel free to drop it in, watch it dissolve. You can stir it if you'd like with a little spoon that I brought from my mother's kitchen. And intermingle all that pains you, all the joys you bring, all the hopes for the future into the waters that sustain us all. Please come as you are ready. We have an announcement to make. If anyone would like to share, starting with.
I've been waiting 2 weeks to say this. I believe in miracles, because I'm a walking miracle right now. On the 15th of December, I got a new aortic valve. Minimally invasive procedure that just amazes me, and it's been 60 years in the development, as I understand it. And the entire staff was wonderful. If they aren't professionals, I don't know who is. And it made me appreciate this community all the more. I don't know what I would do without this gathering. Every single one of you fills my heart with joy. And Happy New Year.
We are blessed. Oh. Thank you for that sharing. We are so blessed to have each other, aren't we? I think this is what church is all about. And so as we near a conclusion of our service today, I'd ask that you just take a meditative moment to just breathe. Relax into your chair. Hearing all the sounds around us, the sounds of each other. Letting all the past pains dissolve up into the sun, being nurtured by our love, being nurtured by our togetherness. And now feel again each other here together. And send your good intentions to the ether. Feel deeply what that intention is. So much good in this room. So many blessings our community brings. Blessed be. And now, I'd like us all to join us in a closing hymn, 1013, Open My Heart.
Please join us in these words to extinguish the chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of its truth, the warmth of this community, nor the fire of our commitment. These we carry in our hearts and share with all the world.
A benediction from John O'Donohue's to bless the space between us. May the nourishment of the earth be yours. May the clarity of the light be yours. May the fluency of the ocean be yours. May the protection of the ancestors be yours. And so may a slow wind work these words of love around you, an invisible cloak to mind your entire life. Blessed be, blessings in this coming new year to all of you. Om Shalom. Shalom. Salam. Amen. As we lead out our service, Dave and I, if it's okay with Dave, are going to be walking out of this church with these bowls and pouring them on the pine tree right outside. And if anyone would like to join us, feel free. And if you wouldn't like to, that's okay. Just know that whenever you see the pine tree right in front of our church at this sidewalk, that your intentions are there and your sorrows are being swallowed by the earth. Blessings, my friend.
Another piece of music. Well, you had so much that day. I don't know how you did it all. I mean, and I really liked your duo with Tony. That was very well put. I mean, I don't know if you were making it up as you went.
Yeah, I was yelling at him. Go to the next one. Go to the next one. The thing I enjoyed most was the one.
Oh, really?
I love that.
Yeah, that was a nice arrangement.
Well, I wish I'd had a little more time to work on it with you.
for the piano